Before we get started, if you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let us explain.
Anchor has the tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone or computer.
When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more.
It is everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
And best of all, Anchor is totally free.
Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome to another episode of Searching for McGuffin with your host, George.
Gabe.
Link's tweeting.
I don't know. Who goes?
No, we always present the guest after, so we just do a regular intro.
Okay. My bad. Oh, Link!
And our very special guest this week, Gisela.
Hi,
Back again.
everyone.
You may remember our guest host from episode something or other, For Your Consideration, our Oscar 2022, right? That was this year? Yeah.
Dude,
well, we've only been doing the show for years.
We
so.
watched a lot of movies.
Yeah, we watched a lot.
Holy crap.
You know, I never even finished the list, by the way.
How much did you get?
I was missing like 3 when we recorded the episode, and then the motivation to just watch those 3. I'll definitely watch them by the end of the year.
What were the last 3?
I didn't see Lost Daughter,
Okay.
Hand of God.
Because you couldn't
Okay.
find her.
Tweet that.
And there's one more, but I don't. Oh, like one of the. I think Attica, the documentary. So
I really like Hand of God. It was like about like Naples in the 80s. And
Naples in the 80s,
Yeah.
like Naples, Florida.
Naples or nipples?
Naples.
Nipples in the 80s
Italy.
sounds like...
Napoli.
I don't know that would. Well, maybe it would be Best Picture nomination. Not that
Probably.
What
big,
about
but-
when it was nipples in Naples in the 80s?
Florida? Or
I'm pretty sure that's a real thing.
Oh, man.
isn't that Boogie Nights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, but Naples in Italy in the
Mhm.
80s had I don't know, the movie just had this like aesthetic of like the city of Naples, and I just really enjoyed seeing like those parts I enjoy seeing different parts of Italy. That's like my number one
Italy
place that
is
I want to go
beautiful.
to. So that's number 1 on my list to go to actually.
Really? Oh, well, because you haven't been to Italy?
No.
Oh, man. I feel like you've been around the world and you haven't stopped at Italy.
Okay.
This week's episode, we're going to take a look at travel, which is kind of a...
Time travel?
No, that's another episode.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah, we haven't done that one yet.
Mm.
Yeah, that takes some homework to do. But no, we're just travel around the world, like I mentioned, which kind of seems off-brand for our show. Maybe just blank stares from.
No, I mean, I guess for in the context of the show,
Ah, nah, man, we're cultured people.
but I like to think we've
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like we don't even have a brand, right? We just like, what if we just made a show and we could talk about anything?
Yeah.
just talk about what we talk about normally.
I mean, it's about searching.
Mm.
Wow,
Bruh,
that's-
good,
We are
good call.
searching-
Good call. I
We
didn't
are
hear it in the
searching for the
episode.
McGuffin in each country we travel to.
Exactly.
Yeah, if the McGuffin is cheese and bread,
You're
'cause
on a
that's mostly what
journey.
I'm looking for.
And like that, you get, your listeners and viewers a time to get to know you better.
Also,
you
we
all
have
love to travel.
plus we have so many viewers in many countries, right?
Oh, that is
We
true.
have like 1 viewer in Nigeria, 1
I
viewer,
think it's 1%. I'm not sure if it's
1% in
No,
Nigeria.
no, actually, we have more than that in Nigeria specifically for some reason. We love you. all
We've
right?
love you.
captivated
Fans.
4% of Nigeria.
All of Nigeria's population, we have 4% of.
I don't think
Of
that's
the
how.
population of Nigeria.
I don't
listens
think that's
and
what that
watches our
statistic
show.
means.
We have some people in Finland, right?
Yeah, we do.
Switzerland.
Yes.
What?
Are you're just naming countries like with question
Scandinavian-
marks?
Yeah.
He's just saying stuff and saying maybe.
we have one. We have one in Colombia.
He doesn't actually pay attention to our data meetings, but he heard like different countries in the background.
Yeah.
So he's just like throwing them out there.
We have
So
guessing.
you
fans
guys,
all
you guys
over
are
the
global.
world.
Yeah, yeah.
We have
Yeah.
fans
That's awesome.
all around the world.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep.
Actually, I met a fan of ours on Friday.
You
I
did?
thought- yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Is that true?
I
Cool.
did. Shout out to Megan. Last name I don't know, but she was.
Oh
there.
yeah, okay.
And then the other guy,
Why did they
Forgot his
approach
name.
you and they
Gabriel.
say, hey,
the
I
nice,
listen
cool,
in?
big guy.
yeah,
Like these are people that you met
But-
for the first time.
First
since
time in
doing
my
the
life,
show?
and then they heard my voice.
they're my classmates from.
Oh.
And one of them was
Oh.
like, I know that prepubescent voice.
He said it like that. He or she said it.
Did
Like
they
Yeah,
say
he's-
good things
word for
about
word-
you?
word for
or-
word.
They liked the show
Okay. And your prepubescent voice.
and my prepubescent voice.
Okay. Wow, you just let that roll off your shoulder like that.
No, it's pretty accurate.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
guess that's fair.
I mean,
Yeah.
plus the guys are like actually like super jacked. So.
Oh,
yeah, am I
really?
going to correct them?
I
No, sir.
am a man.
I am a man.
So
So shout out to those two people I met.
why is travel so important, or why even travel? Why is this important enough for us to talk about it this week?
Because America sucks, and we gotta. Nah, just kidding.
Hey yo, hey yo.
Hey, we're all
that's,
Americans
Not what I
here.
expected to start off. You coming out hot.
He doesn't know what to say next.
America sucks, and we gotta.
He's like, man, they got me. They recorded me saying that.
I mean, I don't-
no.
We just gotta figure out. It's like us testing out which country to move it to when America gets worse. Right? That's why we travel.
I feel like you're the one who travels the least out of everyone here.
Exactly.
This is a weird take for you to have.
But still, the countries I've been to.
Have you traveled
What-
in this past year?
I went to Hialeah.
Have you traveled in the past 2 years?
That's a trek.
I went to Hialeah.
Yeah, he has. He went to New York
I
with
went
us.
to New York.
That's not another country.
No, but that's traveling.
Yeah, but his argument is that I don't even want to repeat it. his
It wasn't
his argument is
offensive. I
he's
don't know if
trying
it was
out
offensive.
new countries.
Yeah, to live in. Yeah.
Well,
When's the
I
last
could
time you
say
went to a
why.
different country?
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah.
When was the last time I went to a different country?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 2016.
Okay.
I went to Colombia.
Nice.
So you're not doing that much research.
No, because he already
Yeah,
found it.
I already
Yeah.
found it.
He went to
Yeah.
Colombia, I'm just going there.
Yeah, man.
Has
I was
been
just
that
gonna hang out
long?
with my grandma.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense, right? Where else are you going to run to?
What were we gonna say, Gisela?
No, I forgot. What?
Why you travel?
Oh yeah, while we travel.
Who we travel?
Yeah.
What do we travel?
I like to travel because it just makes us better people. It's just to be able to experience other cultures and to be able to. It's really hard to hate the world when you travel the world. So it really gives us a different perspective, and just a lovely experience. In my experience, he has made me better. So I love traveling.
Food is great.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, so I think that's Gisela's answer is the academic answer, which I agree with, and like
I
that's why you
agree
do
with,
it.
yeah.
It's like, why do you read? Well, because it's good. It enriches us, and we,
Right.
we do it for fun, but like a lot of it, we do it because like we have to. We have to because we want to reap the benefits. Like, why do you work out? Yeah, sure, I enjoy like physical activity, but also I don't enjoy it as much. I do it mostly because it's better, for
Yeah.
you. So you kind of find the way to do it. Like, you have to get exercise. So what do I like to do? You like to read. Okay, so what do I mean, you have to read. So what do I like to read?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, travel's like that because I think it was when me and Gisela got married, I knew that I would have to travel because she loves traveling. She's into history and it's just a passion of hers. I wasn't big into travel when we first got married just because I'm frugal, or at best it can get really expensive to travel, so you have to invest really well and like plan ahead. Thankfully she's a great planner,
Nice.
but you got to find those things that you like. So for me, like you mentioned, eating's a big part, like trying out food everywhere I go. And we talk about on this show like media, movies and stuff. Everywhere we go, what movies were filmed here, like what is the connection to like
that's part of culture.
yeah, absolutely. Like the art. Exactly. What is the art? So the art and the food is a big part of like traveling for me and that experience.
Yeah, I like that answer. Like I never really thought of it about like it makes us better people. I feel like it. I mean, but I agree that is how what I think it does to me as a person, as an individual.
It opens your mind up.
Mhm.
Yeah, it shows you how other people live, and I think that's just you're being cultured and you're being educated, and I really like the way that you put it. Is like it's hard to hate like different places around the world when you've been there and you've experienced, even if it's just for a tiny portion. It's like you're still getting a glimpse of how other people live that didn't grow up. I mean, I feel like we've been pretty, blessed and privileged to live in a country to grow up in a country that we have. So, I mean, aside from Link, who's
not happy,
vendetta.
doesn't feel blessed.
But no, but I love to travel. I think I was pretty young when I started traveling. I think I went like on my first international flight all by myself, like at 14, 15 years old, which is pretty scary. But after that, there wasn't a fear of getting lost, or that kind of enabled me to just be like, I can do a lot of things. I feel on my own. I feel empowered.
Mm-hmm.
And from then on, I try to I'm lucky enough to have friends that enjoy doing the same things, that share that passion for traveling and try to go out and do just experience new places, which I think is amazing.
Mhm.
Why did you travel at such a young age?
Because I had lived in Guam for about a year. My dad and my stepmom moved over there, and then I was moving back. I was coming back to Miami, and I came by myself, and
That's a long travel.
Yeah, it's like a 18-hour flight, and then there's what was a little scary is that my first flight got delayed from, what was it? It was from Guam to Japan, and then Japan to Texas, and then Texas to Miami.
It's a long journey.
Yeah.
They take care of you when you're how old were you? You said 14, 15?
I was like 14 or 15.
You can go with the flight
Do
attendant?
they- yeah,
or
do
were
they,
you-
take
were
you?
you
They
too old
walk
for
you
that?
through
No,
it?
when I was filling out the customs form, I'm like, what is this?
Mhm.
When I'm coming back in the country, and they're like, I was like, what is this? And she's like,
I can't help
do
you
you not
with
have
that.
a parent with you? I was like, are you by yourself? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, they didn't let the airline know that you were flying?
No.
Flying? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Didn't you hire a flight attendant to take care of you?
No.
They're just
Literally,
we'll
I
send
had to get a
We'll just send him from Guam to Japan to Texas to Miami.
I had to get a connecting flight on my own. And I think I think one of them was delayed, so there was a time crunch. So I had an hour to get across the airport in Japan
That's scary.
to get over there. So after that experience,
That's
I
scary
was
for
like,
us.
So you could do anything.
after that experience, I was like, I can go anywhere. And I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty much how it's been. I think I really enjoy just, aside from either planning a trip, just kind of spontaneously going on a trip, which I found has been some of the best ones in my opinion. But yeah. What about you, Link?
Why do I travel? I feel like I travel because I'm forced to do it. You get me? People are just like, oh, let's go to this place. I'm all right.
Oh, but what do you go? What's your impetus to
Sounds
agree?
like fun. Let's do it. You get me? It's always good to go out different places with other people. I enjoy that. Like you said, my sister's a great planner, so she plans well. When we went to New York, she was planning everything, and I was like, cool. Don't have to do anything. Just follow these people. I really enjoyed that. Enjoy the food as well. But I like traveling. Not that I've traveled much, but I do like that. It opens up your perspective in life. You get me? Like you said, how do you hate? I feel like, most when people hate stuff, it's because they don't really understand it. 'Cause they're scared of it, right? Every time you travel, little by little, you're understanding.
That's
more.
why you need to go to Boston.
No, I can't go to Boston. I know Boston pretty well.
You've never been.
I know Boston pretty
You
well.
only know what the inside of the stadium looks like
Yeah, and
from TV.
that's good. That's good enough to never want to go to Boston or all of New England.
You've
I hear-
constantly disparaged our.
I hear Boston's a
listeners
beautiful
and-
city, and I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
want to go there.
Me too.
Yeah,
I want to visit.
I heard it's beautiful too, but I also heard it's very racist from LeBron.
LeBron
Yeah, LeBron James. That's what I always thought, right?
LeBron said that.
And LeBron said that, yeah.
Okay.
Celtics fans or Celtic fans. They don't even know how to pronounce their team's name right.
Link just has an agenda against America, Boston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like
Not
that's like
against
the heart
Miami,
of America.
because Miami is not Florida. I mean, Miami is not the United States. It's its own
Well,
different country.
Miami is not Florida. You heard it here first.
It's not. It's its own different country.
Okay.
So in that case, I guess Link does travel a lot to different countries.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's not fair. You've been to places. I think.
Yes,
you just,
he has. He's
You've
been to
been to
Europe,
Italy?
but he's
Yeah.
been to
Yeah.
Italy.
I
haven't been to
lived
Italy.
in another
Paris,
country.
and he lived in another country.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, actually, I was gonna get into that because it was like you just mentioned. I mean, I think everyone here lived in another country. I got trapped there for a little bit once, but as a child. But for the most part, the three of you have spent an extended amount of time living in another country. What has that been like?
They spoke a lot of Spanish.
They spoke a lot of English.
Did they in Guam? What in Guam?
Well,
right?
Guam's a U.S. territory, so
Mhm.
it's like, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, but it's a
Maybe-
whole different.
yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
was Hawaii really different when you went? Did you feel like? you
Yeah,
were
it was
the
Yeah,
same?
very
it was.
different, yeah.
Hawaii and
Yeah.
Alaska. they're
It
both
kind of.
very
I feel.
different.
I probably akin it to that. I probably think of it that in a similar way. It's just a different way of life. Island living is totally different from living in the mainland.
It's different from peninsula living.
Yeah,
Did
totally.
you did you go from
Panhandle living.
sneakers, flip flops?
Flip flops. Yeah.
That sounds like fun, man.
Yeah, I mean everything. It's just no stress. I don't know. I don't know how to like really describe it. It's
Very
just
laid back.
yeah, and I enjoyed it. At first I was like,
It's less hectic.
because I left during my freshman year of high school. I was excited to
Mhm.
go back, to the school I grew up going to and being with my friends, to start high school, and I ended up leaving like a month in, to like move across the world, I didn't know anybody. I just had like my dad and my stepmom, and that was pretty much it. But little by little, like I made new friends. I started getting more active. I got involved heavy with soccer. I played pretty competitively and a lot. I was doing like triathlons and stuff like that. So I was pretty active, and I enjoyed that. Which kind of like cemented that in my life. That I was like, I need to move. I need to exercise for me. Like that's like something that's important to me. But yeah, a lot of fond memories of living out there. It is different. To the point where like I never thought I would like miss it, but when I got back, I really appreciated my time out there.
What was there any culture shock moving from here to over there?
I think if I lived in maybe any different part of the States, it might have been more shocking or jarring.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Miami kind of like in a sense like yes, it's like fast paced and can be stressful, but there's also like a bit of laxity and like maybe like professionalism, I guess, and like establishments and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Until you got around like the base, like the U.S. base, everything was very like strict, maintained, and like it was very different in that sense. But like food, I think it was a weird point like where I was growing up as well,
Mhm.
like turning 14, 15. I think it was a pivotal moment where like I just ended up doing a lot of stuff on my own and stuff that like I don't know, things were more accessible to younger people, I guess. Like I had friends that were like driving cars and we could do whatever we want around the island, or we can just walk because everything was so close.
You didn't travel through surfboard.
No, but we went out surfing, which I mean that I never did that. I would never do it in Miami.
Yeah, because there's no
There was-
waves here.
Yeah, there's a lot of experiences that I was able to do out there that I wasn't able to experience back here.
What about you, Link? What was your experience? You went from here to living in another country?
Yeah.
Back. What was that like transition like?
It was a flawless transition because I was one. So ever since I can remember, my earliest memories are of me living in Colombia. I was born here in the States, but moved to Colombia. And
Till about what age?
That was your choice. You wanted to move.
no, it was not my choice.
Did they send you alone, or did the flight attendant?
Yeah.
Were you just like a baby?
I was a
Just,
baby.
like, down, floating down.
kinda
He like- was
floating
I wasn't
down
like
the
that
aisle?
Grogu
In the
little
Grogu, carrier.
Yeah. It was a Delta. No, I was kidding. I just remember being in Colombia. I don't know what to say. Living there, and
You don't remember till what age?
I was probably 3 or 4.
Okay.
Ew, you lived there for a couple of
I don't know
years.
how many fingers you put up. 3, 4, 3,
Oh.
3
You were
years.
3.
Yeah, so I was there for like 2 years.
So we're just all we all put different fingers.
Yeah.
5. You were 5.
So I guess for me it was there was more of a shock coming to America, and that shock was that no one spoke my language. None of the kids spoke, or majority of them weren't all speaking Spanish at the same time.
That was like your main language, huh?
Yeah, it was my. Spanish is my first language.
Even though you're like born in the States, English is your second language.
Yeah, English is my. That's actually pretty interesting. I've never realized that.
Therapy.
Yeah. So it was interesting. Back home, I had all my family was there, so that was very big family oriented events. And then moving here, it was just me and my mom, and then eventually my mom ended up marrying Gisela's dad, and from there, we had family. So I don't know. It was nice. I got a sister from America. So thanks.
Ironically.
So thanks, Obama.
I don't think he had anything to do with it, but now you had a perspective, Gisela, that none of us had because you came to the U.S. you were born in another country and then came to the U.S. So what was that like? Was there a culture shock? Was there things that were difficult to adapt to? How is the United States from an outside perspective? Like, how is that the foreign country? Was there anything that like surprised you or shocked you?
Everything. Well, just little things that I think that today as Americans and living in America, we take for granted. I was born in Colombia, and I moved here, I was maybe 11 or 12. And that everything was different. The food tasted different. School was different. Obviously, it was a huge language barrier. The culture was different. Like Link said, I came from a place where my whole family was there, and cousins and grandparents. And then you come to another country where you are a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a difficult transition. Yeah, at first, especially at school.
Yeah, because Link, you never went to school, right, in Colombia?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They put you in school very
Yeah,
early.
very
for some
early.
reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They had like
At one?
No, he was there until he was
I
got off
remember
the
no,
plane.
three or
could.
four.
Got off
man.
the plane and was late for class.
I remember.
We were tardy.
I remember every morning crying because the bus would pick me up to take me to school, and I would cry.
Dude, I'm literally
because
just picturing like baby Link in a blanket,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
being
It's
passed.
just like here. I mean, you could start
two,
daycare.
yeah,
Two,
two
daycare, and they have like.
I feel like that's a new concept, though.
Here in
for,
America,
yeah,
yeah.
for the United States, yeah.
no, but
I
yeah,
know, but not
or
over
at least
there.
here,
Over there, yeah.
I started school
I started
too.
school over there too.
Yeah.
But it was just
In
terrible.
some states, start schools, you're like 12. But anyways, continue.
What?
Oh, the school starts really early over there.
Yeah, it was just terrible.
Like class, I think start.
I was traumatized by that. Like,
But then I remember when I was there, school finished like a
Super
midday.
early, yeah,
Yes, like
midday.
at 12:45, school is done. So you would go home and eat lunch, and with your family,
That's the
and that's
dream
it.
right there.
Bruh,
And if you
3:30?
wanted to go back to any extracurriculum activities, that was up to you. But it was not like you have to be in school. Also, there are many different kind of schools, like European schools, American schools.
That
they
is
have
also
that
true,
yes,
yeah.
they have different kind of like calendars and different. It's
5 a.m. to 3:30
I was in an
p.m.
American school.
yeah, in America, school is really long.
Band afterwards, bruh.
Yeah, here.
Oh, that
it's-
like you like here in the States? Or?
yeah, obviously here in America we have school like 8 to 3 because it's
The babysitting term.
yeah, right, exactly.
Oh,
You know,
yeah?
people need to go to work, so that's why school is so long.
Did you guys have Jean Day though?
No, we had shorts all the time.
Yeah, it's really
hot.
where we were from. It's really hot,
They don't have AC.
Oh,
and we
okay.
don't have it. Yes, well, at least in the school. Yeah,
No,
they
yeah,
don't.
And in that
we-
time
Oh,
period.
that was a culture shock when I
Not
came
paying
here.
$1 to wear
no,
jeans at school?
everybody had AC, air conditioning, and over there nobody had air
Yeah,
conditioning.
yeah,
so
it's-
you would open the windows at night, and you
You
have
had the fans
fans,
on top.
Oh,
right?
I
on
guess that
top.
was different. I mean, we kind of had AC, but they were like individual room units.
Mhm.
Like
Oh, that's
how
they do
units.
it now, yeah.
And that was so strange. Like
Right.
when I got there, I was like, it's not through the
Right,
whole house.
Central air.
and cold showers were always welcome because it was so hot.
'Cause
Yeah, so like at least again, it's Colombia is a country with many different climates. So where we were from, it was really hot. So it was cold showers, which I discover now traveling the world that in other parts of the world, looks a lot like
Yeah.
from where I am from, because
Mhm.
I've been to Europe and many European countries. In many places, they don't have AC. It's just like open the window. We have a beautiful climate here. It's nice and cool. So very interesting.
Yeah, and you guys mentioned the learning around the world
Mhm.
and not being able to hate because once you understand something, and it's funny
Right.
you said like you go around the world and you see, oh, that's like where I grew up.
Yeah,
Right.
you
see,
compare it.
yeah,
Right.
and you see like the traditions and the practices, you see the faces and the places, and you're like, man, these rolling hills, I'm halfway across the world, but it looks like the rolling hills from where I was born, or this
Right.
this for me, this small town in Amsterdam looks like the neighborhood that I grew up in New York. And like then you're like, oh yeah, it was once New Amsterdam. I guess that's why, because it looks just like it. And you start to see like the mirrors that are from one place to the other.
Right. And one cool thing, for example, like I know George, in case you guys don't know, he was born in New York, and Gabby has family in New York. But when me and Link went to New York, I am so sorry.
Time out, Danny. Edit that out.
If you make a big deal about it, it's just gonna still be in the episode.
Right.
so.
I'm so sorry.
I'm editing
When-
this episode.
When me and Link went to New York, one of the cool things that we loved was that we could walk everywhere.
Oh,
did you-
yes.
That
you
was
say your name?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry, okay? Sometimes
Yeah,
register.
sometimes it happens.
But now it's a whole bit. now.
Yeah.
So good to you.
What was I saying? Yes, and same thing in when I was born, like where I was.
We walked
born.
everywhere.
We walk everywhere. Not
Yeah.
everybody has cars,
Yeah,
so
taxis and the
people
bus.
use a lot of public transportation. And since there are smaller cities, I mean, we live in Miami, which the distances are
Terrible.
long everywhere.
It's not a walkable city.
No, it's not a
bikeable
walkable city. So you do need a car.
Transportation.
So
sucks.
going to these cities like, you mentioned Amsterdam and even Paris, or
Spain.
Barcelona, right? Like or Istanbul, where people walk everywhere.
Barcelona's like where we
So-
just biked the whole city, right?
We did.
And
It was-
Amsterdam
it
as
was
well.
really fun.
And it's funny that walking all over the world and having areas where you're able to bike more often,
Mm-hmm.
that scientists have said, proven that makes you happier. These people in Europe live
Yes.
happier lives because they're not always stuck in car or in traffic.
No.
Even in Paris, I feel like they just all mostly.
No,
just
everyone in Paris is depressed. I'm pretty
miserable.
sure.
Yeah,
They
that's
look
why
miserable.
they steal stuff from you in Paris.
Oh, we'll get to that
Yeah.
in a minute, but I'm sure there's lots of perfectly well-adjusted people in France, especially
Like-
our
Yes.
listeners.
Like Emily in
I
Paris.
love Friends.
Like Emily.
Emily in Paris. That is the quintessential. No, I haven't seen it, so I can't. We've talked about some of the places we've been in. We kind of already started to go. What are some of the favorite places that you've been to around the world?
Palacio de los Jugos.
Palacio de los Jugos, for anyone uninitiated,
For the uninitiated.
is a
For the uncultured.
restaurant, I guess you could
Dude,
say.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
it
it
is.
is.
It's called the Palace of Juices. So you'd think it'd be like a juice shop, but they just have like rice and beans
Well,
and
they have
chicken.
They have, no, they
Juices.
have a lot of juices. Yeah.
They have a lot of
They
juices.
have a lot of
but-
options for juices, but I didn't know how much of a restaurant it actually
Yeah,
Yeah,
is.
it's-
they have more food than juices. I
I thought it
think.
was a juice spot. Like,
Yeah, I thought it was like a Jamba Juice. You
Yeah.
know, or...
By the way,
Have you ever been to El Capital de los Jugos?
No.
Oh,
no,
capital of the
that'll be my
juices.
next country I
the
visit.
juice
Yeah.
capital.
Yeah.
You were gonna say?
No, I don't know.
Okay, well,
No.
What was the
What
question?
were you
What
saying?
were you asking? What was the question?
I don't know. I asked for favorite,
Favorite?
places.
Oh, favorite
and he
places.
came
Oh,
up with a
okay,
juice
favorite
restaurant.
places.
Juice restaurant.
I mean, because any place in Miami, it's literally any restaurant in Miami is literally like another country.
Yeah.
You're teleported to another country because majority of the people there don't speak English,
Well,
right?
yeah.
The culture, even there, you enter there. The culture is a little bit different than America.
Yeah.
I think Miami is a weird hybrid.
Yeah,
Well-
Miami's a special place.
Yeah.
You know, no doubt about it.
It's super funny because when you talk about like multiculturalism, especially when it comes to the food and the people, it's the only America that I've ever known. Because
Right.
Yeah.
I was born in
Right,
New York,
right.
Yeah.
and then
Right.
I moved here to Miami, and those have been the only two extremes
Mhm.
that I get. And
Right.
besides the weather, it's just been like Hispanics, Asians.
Right. This is my America.
African-Americans.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just multicultural.
Which is awesome because we're so.
multi-pot.
I feel like we're so open minded, like hanging out with other people. Like when we went to college in Tennessee, we
That was
that was a culture shock.
that was
But
a
it was
culture
like
shock.
we were comfortable expanding our horizons and hanging out with other
Right.
people.
Right.
Yeah.
More Gabriel than me, but
I
it's
remember-
part of who you
Yeah,
are.
I remember
Yeah,
that
it's
first
part of your
week that
culture.
I went to school in Southern. I got to school and one of my friends, like, he was also from Miami. He went to like how we greet other people
with the kiss.
is with the kiss like on the cheek.
Yes, same thing happened to me, bro.
And then
Are you talking about me?
he went to go kiss like this
He went
girl
to go
that's
kiss
from
you?
there on a cheek. No, this girl from there like on a cheek, and she like pulls away. She's like, "Yo, what are you doing?"
Really?
Yeah, and it
Wait.
was like super awkward. It's like, no, wait, that's
Wait, are you talking about me?
how we
Because
do
that's
it.
happened to me.
You?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't your story.
Oh, that actually happened to me.
I mean, no, I'm sure it's happened to multiple.
Do
Do
was
people
that come
think
from
you guys
Miami.
are weird when you
Yeah, I
guys?
thought we were like touchy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is not what we're trying to do. But then, like,
Yeah,
you
well,
think
like,
about
'cause-
it when you're not used to that. When you come out of it, it's like, oh yeah, I guess that is
I
kind of
guess.
weird.
Yeah.
I've never gotten
I mean,
used
not even to mention post
Yeah.
COVID. So
Yeah.
I mean,
So I high five people
Incool.
now because
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with that.
Well,
Or
I-
a
I do that.
handshake.
I was a big fan of the fist bump even pre-COVID. So like post-COVID just normalized it for me, and I was like, this is one benefit to me because I've always been a fist bump because of the germs and stuff just in general. And also, I never got used to the whole kissing greeting thing because like I get it and it's normal, but at least here it's for everyone, even if you just met someone. Like you introduce and a kiss, that's awkward for me. Like I don't know you. I don't know if I want your
It's
face.
lovely.
You know what?
It's
I actually
part of.
so growing up, my dad, Gisela's dad, my stepdad, he was always very affectionate. Right? He was always giving kisses, right, to me, to my brother, to Gisela. And I know in some cultures, like men kissing, at least in America, men kissing, that's a big no-no, right? Like you don't do that. And in Europe, I think men are more open to kissing each other, like greeting and stuff like that.
they do double.
Yeah, they do double.
Mhm.
So
Up.
because of that culture that my dad has of being affectionate and just kissing.
We just kiss everybody.
Yeah, like I literally kiss everyone. Like I'll kiss Gabriel, I'll kiss Joe. I don't think Joey was like a kiss, but I'll kiss like my good friends. Like
Yeah, but
just-
even then we're family. Like that's always been like
Yeah.
guy to guy family kissing.
I'll kiss-
and
but
And
I'll
stuff.
also,
kiss
the thing
anyone.
is that I don't know.
I'm not scared of kissing anyone on the cheek.
Right.
No matter the guy. I know some guys don't like it, so I don't do it. But
And I don't think it's just a Miami thing. It's a Hispanic.
Hispanic
thing.
thing,
Yeah, for sure.
So favorite place. Sorry, that was a detour.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a definite
Um,
detour.
I really love Costa Rica.
Oh yeah,
I
I
went there.
haven't been.
I went there when I was young. That was probably one of my first like international trips. I was pretty young.
Did you play soccer there?
I was probably 10. I actually did, yeah.
Figured.
But
I just assume that if you go to Costa Rica at some point, you will end up in a soccer game.
yeah, we went to like the base of the volcano, like
Did
hot
you-
springs and stuff like
did
that. It
you
was
zip line?
no, I don't
Oh.
think I did. We stayed like at a resort and then some
Did you
family's house.
Didn't you just say you were 10?
10-ish.
Can you zip line at 10?
Yeah.
Your parents are there. Why not?
I mean,
I assumed his parents weren't there.
like 4 or 5 years later, I was flying across the world,
That's true.
all around the world
See?
by myself. I love Costa Rica, but I think one of the more recent trips has been to Greece. But what made that trip special, I think too, was that was my first time going to Spain. I spent like a day in Spain in Madrid.
Yeah.
And I absolutely loved going to Spain for the first time, going to the stadium like of my favorite soccer team, Real Madrid, going to the stadium, doing a tour, going around, seeing like what I had grown up seeing on TV like all of my life. Like to see it in person was like something that was like super special. And then going to Greece was something like out of this world. It was such a beautiful, lovely place. We went to Santorini and to Mykonos, and it was amazing. Like just the views, even the food, the people. Those are some of my fondest memories. I also really like.
Did you say you went to Mykonos?
Yeah.
I'm so triggered.
Why?
We went on like a 16-day tour, and the day that we were supposed to port at Mykonos, the waves, just the weather.
It was just bad weather.
Yeah, they
Couldn't
wouldn't.
go.
They
we
couldn't port.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they skipped.
Did you
it.
go to Santorini?
No.
All right, when you go back to yours, go to Santorini.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think I like Santorini more than Mykonos.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. But Mykonos will always be the one that got away
Oh,
for me. Huh?
yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I mean, it's really hard to pick one place.
I mean, you don't have to. I think
I,
Gabe went
but
like
I
two.
guess all places are tied with memories,
Yeah.
right? Like with some kind of like, I'd places are like, well, obviously I'm Colombian, so I lived there and I went there as a tourist. I had a great experience. It's a beautiful country. I love Mexico. We've been to Mexico a couple of times. Me and George. This last time we went to Mexico City, and it was great. We had such a great time in Mexico. So I actually love Mexican food. I love the Mexican
yeah.
people. I love the Mexican culture.
You haven't had tacos unless you've had them in Mexico.
I love how proud they are of their Native American heritage.
Taco Bell.
I just Mexico is great. Like if
Good
you
point.
want to go to a place and experience history and culture and beautiful nature, it has it all, and beautiful people too. And I loved Amsterdam.
You stole mine.
Yes, Amsterdam was such a fun place to visit. But out of all the places
Well,
that
I'm gonna interject here real quick because
Right.
you mentioned Amsterdam. She had to convince me to come back from Amsterdam because I was already doing like the mental math. Like we could find a job here. This
It
is how
really
much it
was.
would cost, like
Yeah.
for rent. Like we could just not go back. Like
Yeah.
we're not under contract. I mean, we just say we're.
Have you ever thought about like doing something like that? Like aside
We-
from that moment, like
I think
Yeah,
that's
we
the only
have.
time, which I think that's why it's
Yeah.
on the top of my list. That's
Yeah.
the only time where I'm like, this could just be my life now. Like
Yeah.
it could be here. Amsterdam is that one place where
You guys know how he says that I usually plan the trips. Well, we got to Amsterdam. We've been to Amsterdam twice. And he took charge. He was like, we're going to do this and we're going to go this and because he loved it so much. So Amsterdam, and I think that's why I love it so much, is because it was fun. Like I got to relax a little bit and he took charge. So that was fun.
doesn't have fun with me traveling.
No,
Confirmed.
I do. Stop it. You're my best travel partner. And definitely Istanbul. If you have never
Yeah,
been to
Oh,
Turkey.
Turkey,
Link.
All right.
Wow.
if you've never been to Turkey, Turkey is a place that you must
That
go.
is
I want
also.
to. I want to go to Turkey.
Istanbul was and we went to different places in Turkey. So
loved
practically,
everything in
yes,
Turkey.
everywhere you go in Turkey, such a beautiful place. Again, beautiful people.
Did you see the air balloon thing?
We didn't do the air balloon thing.
But did you see them?
Do we know?
I don't
No,
think so.
we didn't see
'Cause I
them.
see people's pictures that they do that, like
Yeah.
they live in the background. It looks amazing.
Istanbul was beautiful. I mean, Turkey was beautiful. Since I love history, obviously Istanbul has, so much,
Not Constantinople.
right? So much of it. It was also very interesting to experience something very different from what our
Absolutely.
Western culture, right?
Absolutely.
So it was awesome to experience how, people live, how they practice their faith, how Islam is alive everywhere they go, how they dress differently. It was just a great experience. I would totally go back to Turkey.
I mean, yeah, I'll piggyback on that. Turkey was
Yeah.
my second on the list because, like, it's like you said, so different.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to that topic of understanding and knowing
Mm-hmm.
the other, quote unquote, it was like coming from a Judeo-Christian background to see like Islam in practice, to visit the mosques, and then to get steeped in the culture. Like we went to the underground caverns, which were beautiful and
And all the
fascinating.
mosque,
fascinating
the
to
Hagia
me.
Sophia. And the cool thing is that when we went to that marketplace, I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize.
I know,
every
it's
time.
that I keep hitting the mic.
Yeah, but
when
every
we went
time
to
you
the
do it-
marketplace,
Just
which is like one of the oldest marketplaces in the world. It's like over 1,000 years old by now. And the merchants, obviously, they want to sell you things, but the people are so nice. And the things that we're not used to that in America, like, people just wanting to talk to you and they would just
Customers just throwing shoes at you. And,
you know, people wanting to have a conversation with you and inviting you to have tea. And for us, it's like,
oh,
why
the tea
do
thing was amazing.
yes,
Fell
why
in
do
love
you
with
want to talk to me?
apple
Like,
tea.
what do you want? Learn this. That is a mentality, right? Like, this guy wants something out of me. Like, what is he gonna do?
He's trying to sell you something.
Right, and they are, but at the same time, they also want to know, like, oh, where you're from,
the
what are you
rapport.
here,
It
right?
feels it's a very human
Right.
kind of exchange.
They're really
Right.
good at trying to sell you something.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
But
and even when you walk away and you don't like if the exchange doesn't happen, you don't feel slighted. You don't like
no,
it was a you know
it was nice. It was nice just to try conversation with strangers that live there about their life, and they ask us questions, you know, about like, you know, where you guys from and what do you guys do and all those things. So it was really nice. It was.
And
very
you're right,
cool.
it does work because like I could not stand Turkish Delight before I went, and then they convinced me to buy Turkish Delight from them, and it was amazing. And
They
then-
didn't convince us. They offer us, here, you want to
Yeah.
try this? And then we're like, sure. And we
Chronicles of
tried it.
Narnia.
Oh wow! So
convinced
you didn't
me.
have to sell out your siblings for?
No,
Turkish
no, we
Delight?
did.
No.
That's why they didn't. No, it didn't cost us anything.
No.
Mm.
Chronicles of Narnia.
Just our
convinced
siblings.
me.
Yeah.
Turkish
And
Delight.
it was delicious.
Then I
But
tried
was-
it and I was like,
Yeah.
eh.
No,
Yeah,
because
I
the,
wouldn't sell
the
out my siblings for Turkish Delight.
no, because honestly, the Turkish Delight that he eats is not even good because like from a box. This is like they made the Turkish Delight right there. You're like at a market.
Dang,
like
the
it's
White
in a
Witch couldn't
window.
even conjure some good Turkish
Yeah,
Delight.
no.
I don't know, but that chocolate. What is it? What did he have? Cocoa?
Cocoa like coconut.
Like
or
she gives him
cocoa
like a hot
chocolate?
cup of like
Yeah, hot cocoa.
that always enticed me. That was a random thought, but yeah.
It's not really random because we transitioned from the Turkish Delight, so there was a progression of ideas.
But you know what is random?
What?
I enjoyed Top Gun Maverick so much, and it's still not on Paramount Plus. So
Dang,
You-
can
you
you,
don't know
believe
that
they
that's
traveled
true?
to a country we don't know of and
We've never
attacked
even heard of it.
Yeah, we never heard of it. All we know is that they're not part of NATO.
I wonder.
I wonder which country that could
Yeah.
be.
But yeah, so Turkey, go visit. Oh, we went to Ephesus, the ancient city of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. And especially if you are a person of faith, whether it's in Christianity or, and actually any monotheistic at this point faith, it was great.
Yeah, because they kind of all intersect. there.
Right. So that was super cool. So I definitely would recommend to travel to Turkey. You know, just be mindful that you are in a country that is not America. So, you know, be respectful of who they are as
Do your
people.
homework.
Right. Do
Be
your
prepared.
homework. Be prepared. You know,
Which is probably just good advice anywhere you're
respect.
going.
I think that's what travel also
respect,
teaches
of
is
course.
respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, respect for other people's culture and that they don't owe you anything. So you, you know,
Just
you're going
because
to
you're
their
American
home.
doesn't mean
Yes.
you own- yeah.
And I think that's something that I as
Link with the agenda again.
right. No,
Yeah,
no,
you
because
see it in places.
because
Americans are notorious in other
don't
countries.
get me wrong. I love America, right? Like the Godfather said, America
but the
have
two
brought
most
my
en-
fortune.
Yeah.
But we as American, consider myself an American, we could be entitled.
Yeah.
in
Yeah, the two
sense
most
that-
entitled
yeah.
people are Americans and Colombians, and I can say that because all four of us are both
I
here.
would say Argentinians.
No, you're not supposed to say
No,
other people that
people.
you don't represent. You're not. There's not an
I have
actual.
Argentinian
Add another
friends.
one to the list for Link.
But yeah, so yeah, you just have to, and yeah, that's a recommendation that I always do before you go to any country. Do your homework, you know, make sure that you know what's up.
The views of Link do not represent the views of the show as a whole, and also he is here for comedic relief. Link, what about you? What are some of your favorite places? Since Gisela stole
Some
all
of
of mine.
my favorite places. I really enjoyed London when I went. Did not like the food that much. I thought, oh my goodness.
You didn't like Nando's?
Oh, bro,
Some
Nando's.
peri
First of all,
peri?
First of all, Nando's is from South Africa.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, but have you been to South Africa and have you had it there?
But South Africa is
No.
also British
Col-
occupied space. Yeah, it's a colony. So
yeah, but it came from South.
It's a Commonwealth.
It's okay.
It's no longer
have
an
you been to South
occupied
Africa?
space.
No, it's,
by,
it's the
there's
closest I've ever been to
there's
South
no
Africa.
such
Tell
thing
it to
as
the
the British
the South
Empire.
African. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, but yeah, Nando's was probably my favorite meal in London because I did not like the food that much.
What did you have?
Chips and fish, which I thought okay. this is all right.
Oh, the chips are like fries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a culture thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
almost
Also,
like potato wedges.
Their
Put it in the-
breakfast isn't that good either. It was kind of like a
I
simple.
enjoyed the breakfast.
I don't know.
It
The
was like
people
having
in,
lunch for breakfast.
yeah. By the way, the people in London, when I went to London, were super nice.
No, yeah, I
Dude,
like.
Yeah, we
London.
almost
Like-
got stuck in London.
Bro, I was
Yes,
having baked
London-
beans
I
really
for
enjoyed
breakfast,
London.
some
Yeah.
cheese on toast.
Let me tell you, London people, salt of the earth. Me and George were super lost. We were going to, what did you say we were going to?
No idea.
We were walking, we wanted to go somewhere.
The
I
same
don't
people that
know.
attacked Meghan Markle.
I don't know.
Just
we were,
all of London.
Add another one to the
Add
list.
another one to the
by the way, for
The bus driver who
if
saved
anybody,
our lives.
anybody
attacked-
here, if anybody's listening from London, I feel bad for that horrible traffic that they get in
Oh, yeah.
London.
If you think Miami traffic is bad,
It was terrible.
I just
So-
walked everywhere in London.
Right. So we literally, at some point, we
I
decided.
don't think I could drive in London.
no,
No,
okay,
it's super
we
stressful.
got okay. We did.
I would get so confused with
So,
the signs.
but before you go, so we got super lost.
Where
We
am I
didn't know
going?
where to go. No, George was gonna say, and this really sweet man, we don't know.
Stop
I don't even know.
leaving.
I don't even know where we asking to go, and he actually walked us.
No.
Oh, to Buckingham Palace. That's
Yeah.
where we're going. He walked us to Buckingham Palace so we wouldn't get lost. Isn't it super sweet? Who does that here? Right? No one.
Dude, I remember we gave we tried giving a tip to one of our cab drivers, and they were like, "What?
Yeah.
What is this?"
Oh, by the way, that's why they
Okay.
love Americans over there.
Okay,
because
but-
they tip everybody.
But also, in the defense of everyone here, how are you gonna walk someone to Buckingham Palace? Like nobody has time for that. It's really far.
Okay, you know what I
Nah. Anyways, we got lost on the bus. We went on a bus tour, right? Because they were like, "Oh, it'll take this amount of time." But I guess it was just like an estimate because like twice as much time had passed and we hadn't made the loop yet. We got stuck in traffic. So at some point they're like, "You need to get off the bus. Like just get off the bus and go here and take a taxi." So yeah, we literally walked because it would be faster than the bus to get to where we needed.
Yeah. People were really nice in London.
Yeah, they were nice.
Yeah.
Not nice at the airport.
I
Though.
did not like the food that
I don't know. I felt like people were kind of just rudish.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's transition to that. What are some of your worst experiences? Not all
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
sunshine
I'm
and
not done.
rainbow.
I'm
Oh,
not
I
done.
Oh yeah,
apologize.
Link was gonna say
I
something about
apologize,
London.
Link. Go right
Yeah.
ahead.
All
Yeah,
this
I'm
stuff
sorry.
hasn't been bad experiences from.
So yeah,
we had already transitioned, so
but I think my favorite country that I've been to has been Italy because the food there was fantastic.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm someone who enjoys walking, so that's why I love Europe.
Mm-hmm.
All the walkableness you have there.
Walkableness.
So yeah, so I loved Italy the most. The best pasta I've ever had in my life was in Italy. It literally ruined pasta for me here in America. Like
Yeah.
I can't eat pasta and
All right, so I never want to see you in Elaine's.
100% love it. With the
You're not
exception
invited
of
to
Elaine,
Pedicones.
I never want to see you at Elaine's.
with the exception of Elaine's, who you know what, it's a 95.
No, but I agree.
97.3?
I agree with Link.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's because
no, I don't think it ruined pasta.
no, it didn't
forever.
ruin.
it's
Obviously,
just I
not.
haven't
yeah,
haven't tasted that.
you
high.
can't reach that level.
Ever again, yeah.
Yes, and I don't know what it was.
Elaine's is probably the
Right.
closest.
We went to Naples,
Florida.
Really?
Napolis. No, over there in Italy, not here.
That's right, yeah.
Not Florida. And
Am I supposed to say Olive
and
Garden?
we were walking.
Close,
I don't
yeah.
actually. It was not. I don't know where we were. It was not Naples. Was it Naples? I don't
It
know.
was Naples.
It was
Just say
Naples.
Naples. Don't.
Yes.
Naples and Naples.
It's somewhere in Italy at this
Florida?
point. We were in a small town, and we were so
No, it wasn't.
hungry.
It was right outside of Naples.
Right. I don't know. And we were super hungry, and we hadn't eaten anything
pizza
all
store.
day. And there was this little shop that was selling pizza.
Oh,
Right. So we go in, and
pizza so good.
yeah, and the lady asked us, "Okay, so how many slices do you want?" So we're like, we're super hungry. We haven't eaten anything all day. It was summer, so it was hot. So we're like, yeah, 2 slide, whatever.
Was this
The
in
la-
English?
In broken Italian.
Italian Spanish.
Yes, yeah, it's Italian Spanish. So she takes the pizza dough and she takes the fresh tomatoes and she does all of this right in front of us. And guys, that was like the best pizza.
It ruined pizza in America.
like
In
we
Link's
we
words.
haven't been able to reach
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
That's
about
Except for
pizza.
Little
the
Caesars, it's
high.
like a 95.
No, with your pasta.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
a
yeah.
Little
Right,
Caesars
like
is
the
almost
freshness.
there.
You know what I loved about the pizza in Italy, bro? I could eat a whole pie and not feel like a fat ass afterwards and hate
Yes.
myself because it was so. It's not that big,
No.
and I'm satisfied. I
Yeah.
like don't get depressed for eating after I eat a whole pizza.
Because the dough is kind of
It's
like
thin.
thin
Yeah.
and it's not heavy.
Yeah,
It
you
was
probably still
just
shouldn't eat a whole
beautiful.
pie.
I'm gonna go book a ticket.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
But
I'll go with
oh,
you.
by the way, you
Oh,
know,
we're just going on and on about
okay.
this place
By the
you
way,
haven't been.
by the way, that's not true because I kind of have a similar experience when we went to New York and we ate that pizza, and I want to go to New York just to eat that pizza.
Yeah, Ray's Pizza. You've probably
Yeah,
heard.
Leanne recommended that
Listen,
one.
Yes.
you've probably
Shout out to
heard-
Leanne.
You probably heard of Ray's Pizza. You got to go to the original spot, and
It's not the same Ray's Pizza from here in Miami.
no, that's
Ray's
Ray's. That's
Pizza.
That's Cuban pizza, right?
Yeah.
Their Miami branch.
But even then, Ray's has popped up everywhere, and they're all good. But you got to go. You got to go.
No,
to
but nothing
one
like
of the
that
OG,
pizza.
OG spots, and that's what I grew up eating. So that was what pizza for me was. And then I went with Link, and since I've grown, I eat all kinds of pizza, and he was like, let's get like a bunch of different kinds of pizza. So I listened to him, which it wasn't bad.
No,
It wasn't a
you
bad
made the right
experiment.
choice. You
No,
made the right
I did
choice.
not make the right choice.
That cheese
Because
pizza.
I grew up
oh,
eating cheese pizza. Just I ordered just cheese pizza. It was head and shoulders above any of the
It
other
was
slices.
perfect.
Just
What it
order
was.
the cheese. You want to experiment after slice
Guys,
one
literally
or two?
my mouth is
that's
getting
fine.
watery just
That's
thinking
what I did.
about that pizza.
She's got different types of pizza. And it was amazing.
Sounds
that
great.
was
Sounds
great.
fantastic.
But yeah, I honestly think
So
my
happy
favorite
for you
place to
guys.
travel is New York.
New York is amazing.
Yeah,
New York is
if I could
great.
It
live
is
in
my-
Central
probably my
Park,
favorite.
I would
I have
live
a
in
weird
Central Park.
nostalgia.
New York is
Yeah.
lovely.
Like I think the way Gisela feels when she goes back home to Colombia, that's how I feel when I go back to New York. But it's this weird nostalgic version because I was very young when I moved here to Miami, and I spent summers there. My dad would work there, and I would spend time with him, and sometimes on the holidays. So it's like I have this idealization of New York, like the ideal New York that the movies sells you is literally what I experienced. Like
I'm
it was
literally
always high points for me.
I'm literally the same because I mean that's how it was for me. Like we have a bunch of family in New York from both sides of my mom
Right.
and my dad, so I got to like experience it on both sides. But it's like I would spend all of my summers there. Most of my summers there growing up, and like you said, it's like just this romanticized version, the picture that you get painted from film, from TV,
No, but it really
music.
is. It
and
really
it's just
is.
like,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. It's
enchanting.
like I feel like it's different when you live there and and there's a
Right.
day-to-day grind.
Right,
and it's
but
a
I've
different
never had to
appreciation.
go to school or work
Exactly.
there. I've lived there, never in school and work.
Exactly, it's a different
So I'm
appreciation.
always on
I've-
vacation.
it hasn't been like 4 months of me getting up early on a cold day, taking the subway,
Right.
dealing with people yelling at me and stuff like that. I haven't like experienced that to that extent. But I think that like when I do end up going to New York, it delivers like every time.
Yeah.
And the thing about that city is like there's always something new that I discover about that city every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about it. And there's literally so much like because New York from like being a kid to New York like being an adult
Yeah.
is different, but at the same time it's like I still feel like a little kid
Mhm.
when I go to New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. But
I do want to say about beautiful people. Ireland, the people in Ireland were so sweet. Also, so if you guys never been to Ireland, go to Ireland, Scotland. Beautiful countries, both of them. Amazing. Like
Don't confuse their accents either.
yeah, it was. I mean, these are countries that whatever you turn the corner, it's beautiful architecture, nature everywhere. It's just awesome. Yes.
What I think is beautiful is when you study the art and the history of these countries, and you see the similarities between the countries that our parents were born in, and even like our early history here in the States, and just like so much of the tradition and
The
the
influences.
lifestyles and the influence, and like the commonality,
Yeah.
of like the human experience.
And then also because even for us that we live in the United States, when you go to any of these European countries and you're able to pinpoint some of like even our own cultures, like things that we do here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so this is why
This is where we get it from.
right? This is where we get it from because we're such a like diverse population that we really have like cultures and traditions from so many different parts of the world. So it's really cool to experience that as well. And for them too, like we went to Ireland, it was really cool to see how they love JFK over there. They do.
What about Clinton?
They love
They love
Billy
Bill?
too. Yes, they love Bill Clinton. They love JFK, and for different reasons, but
That tied to their history.
to their
you know, rather
history,
than
a moment
whatever
in
they
time.
did in the United
Right.
States.
Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting as well. So that was really really cool to see that. Yeah.
Okay, are you done? Like, am I allowed to transition
Yes, you
now
go.
to the next
Yes, you may,
topic?
sir.
I apologize once again. What were some of your worst experiences?
Living in Miami.
That's not a
Like,
travel
oh,
experience.
That's not.
Oh, my
Yeah, that's
goodness.
different.
People that come here
Love it.
Miami.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't. I
Like,
mean,
But that's like everything. Like, for example, Paris. Like, we work so hard
Yeah.
to travel to Paris to just find, a bunch of people miserable there. New York, like you said, we idealize New York, and everyone who lives there is unhappy. quote
Everyone's just
unquote, you know what I
yelling
mean?
expletives at you, and you're
Yeah.
just smiling like the sun
Yeah.
is shining.
And it's like, yeah, we live here.
But you gotta kind of learn. Like I was talking to Sam before we started this conversation,
Nobody
and I
knows
was,
who that is, but continue.
oh, okay, you'll meet
The
Sam
director,
the
eventually.
director.
He's our director.
director
Go
Sam.
But for example, the first time I went to Paris, I was like, "What's the big deal about Paris? It's like hectic. Is so much traffic, people everywhere.
I can't be on my phone 24/7 because apparently I'm going to get pickpocketed. That was the most annoying thing.
Yes, and I remember
Not people pickpocketing, but everyone in my party telling me to get off my phone.
right, and I remember like talking about experiences. Again, we were lost. We were trying to find the entrance to the Louvre, and that we walked in through the wrong door, and this
because everything's like in another language. No, I'm just kidding. ugly American time.
right. So this French guy, like
they not
he's
have it in
he's
English.
talking to us in French. I don't know French. So he got annoyed, which I could understand. He started screaming at us like, "Get out of here. Like this is not what you're looking for." And that
You were trying to steal the Mona Lisa.
I guess, even though I was very far from it. So I was like, "Oh, this is Paris. This sucks." But we ended up going.
You said that was where?
the first time we went to Paris.
Okay, but where specifically in
In the
Paris?
Louvre. In the Louvre in
right?
Paris, yeah.
Okay, and I understand that. I understand how, like, being in the wrong place and whatever. But also, you're at the Louvre. Like, I mean, there's tourists coming in and out
Right,
all the time.
like- I hope you expect that. But the second time I went to Paris, because my expectations were different, now I love Paris. The second time around, we had an amazing time.
Paris was
It's
where
beautiful.
you almost got on the wrong train, and I had to literally pull.
No,
you
we
out.
didn't we got on.
No, that also happened. But then there was another time when you got on the wrong train, and I did not, and I had to like pry the doors open and pull you out
I'm
of
sure
it.
that happened,
Yeah.
yes.
I'll always remember that.
But wait, it's okay to get lost in other places. I mean, me and George get lost all the
Unless
time.
you have tickets for a very specific time. To a very
Yes,
specific
that happened.
program.
Oh, my worst experience, actually, now that you bring it, was actually in Paris.
Same.
We are not dumping on Paris. We love you, Parisian.
I love Paris.
love
Paris has one of my
Paris.
favorite experiences.
Yes,
going to
me
like
too. Yeah.
I saw the French national team play in their stadium, like a full soccer game, and
That's beautiful. Those sports experiences.
soccer in Europe is a completely different, like
Mhm.
from any sporting event I've ever been, from any event I've been to ever. But I think the worst probably experience is trying to get into Versailles.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Not the one on 8th Street,
The actual palace.
not the restaurant, the
Oh no,
palace.
that's Valsan.
No, that's no.
You've never been to Versailles?
I have
Oh.
once.
But the line, it was like freezing cold with like, it was starting to rain, but then it started turning to like sleet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were there for like 3.5 hours. By the time we got in there, we were wet and cold. And I was like,
Did you get to enjoy it?
And that didn't even have
Was
to
it
do with the
really
rain.
hard?
no,
right?
we were just like upset. Like we were just like hungry and
Right.
like, we just like, went through it. Like we were able to see most, like a lot of it. We weren't able to see the gardens because the weather didn't allow for
Right.
it. But, like the inside, we were just like over it.
Oh, you're
which
talking
I-
about the Palace of Versailles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I feel like kind of like dampened the mood, and like
Yeah, of
we weren't able
course.
to experience with like fresh eyes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it was probably I'm pretty sure there's a worse experience where something like more serious happened, but from what I can remember, I just
But wait, the
It's
Palace
that-
of Versailles is beautiful.
Yeah.
But those gardens.
so I missed the best part.
Yes, for
Mm.
me, it's the best part.
Well, for me, the Palace was the best part because I was like, I'm not like really super impressed with like, oh, a bunch of rich people,
Oh, the
this
king,
land, oh,
poop
God.
here.
Oh, monarchy, I was right. But then I walked into the palace,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is the chamber throne from Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet. Like these are the doors that he goes through the mirrors. I'm like, this is the set of Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet. And then I was like, this is the greatest palace ever because I love that movie and I watch it multiple times every year for my classes.
I
like
didn't.
that-
I didn't know.
I feel like that when we went in Paris for Inception,
Oh, yeah.
the bridge,
Yeah.
and that scene, I was like, wait a minute, this is, and then someone like confirmed it when I went, and I was like, yeah, it is, and I was like, oh my goodness,
Me and George stayed in that building.
That was
That's
sick.
where we stay in Paris.
The one that like flips over.
Yeah.
It doesn't do that in real life.
Yeah, in real life,
That's
it
only an
doesn't do that.
Inception.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We were watching something the other day as a side note that I was like, we were there, we stood there. What was it? We were watching a film and we were
I want to say it was The Godfather.
I want to say it was The Godfather too, but what would it be in The Godfather? We'll come back to that. Think about that. Ruminate. Continue. Worst experiences.
We got robbed in Paris. They stole my dad's luggage. I think it was probably Lupin.
There's a lot of theft out there, huh?
Yeah.
You
Yes,
thought it
it
was a
is.
werewolf?
No, Lupin.
Professor Lupin from Harry Potter?
No, Lupin. From
Lupin
the
the
show
Third from the anime?
No, Lupin from
manga?
the show Lupin. Don't you watch Netflix? Lupin.
No, we've discussed.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
watch Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know Lupin, though.
It's
I
a
do,
show,
I
right?
do.
Yeah, I think Lupin.
No,
stole-
oh, you mean the
all our-
literary figure,
it's
Lupin?
Literally all our icons
Yeah,
on Netflix
that is
in different
true.
disguises.
We're all
Yeah,
different Lupins.
One of those people robbed my dad,
One of the Lupins?
and I can't tell
You
which
know,
one.
somebody saw that the other day. I had my Netflix on, and someone was like, "Why is your Netflix icons just like a bunch of different
Lup-
dudes?"
Oh, they didn't know what it was?
No,
Okay.
and I was like, "You know, it's the same guy, right?" And they're like, "What?"
All right, so whoever that was that sold that to Gabe, if you're listening, they're all Lupin. All right. So Lupin stole your luggage.
Lupin stole my luggage, but I'm pretty.
But
sure
where? Where were you guys? Like,
we had just gotten off the train from London to Paris. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
the Amtrak.
So they're just always stealing luggage. This isn't the first
it's
I've
a
heard.
train.
line.
yeah, it was like my
yes.
first experience with
Yeah.
You
These
think,
trains are awesome
you think
too.
they'd have a better system than just, hey, go put your luggage over there. It'll be perfectly safe.
No, like what happened was like we were asking questions, and as we were asking one person the questions, I guess his partner came from the back and took the luggage.
Lupin.
Yeah, that's why you read first. One of the things that I told George when we got to is like, don't talk to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. If people want to talk to you, ignore them. Do not hold on to that luggage.
I
as
know.
Don't
tight
feel
as you
bad. They're
can.
just going to be rude to you
But
anyway.
it's
So
so
be
hard
rude.
because
Yeah.
Lupin is so slick.
We had two instances like that. Like when I went with some friends to Paris, we had just gotten to Paris, and my friend was just like walking, and he could feel like something quick like in his pocket, and he just noticed there was a dude behind him like reaching for his wallet,
It's crazy.
and he
yeah.
scared him off. And the other one was one of my friend had a family member who lives in Paris, and it was like a couple days. We went for like Thanksgiving ish time, and it was Black Friday. And his my friend's uncle got held at knife point,
Oh.
and he's like, give me your wallet. So he gives him the wallet. The guy takes half of the money out, and he goes, here you go, Black Friday, 50% off, and then takes off. And leaves. And I was like, there's no way that's a real story. But then like the uncle like confirmed it.
Well, it has been chronicled here, so it's a real story
Yeah.
now.
Wow.
When
Would you
they
ever-
dig up this podcast
Would you ever
years
live
from now.
in Paris, Gabriel?
Sure.
Yeah,
Why not? It's a different
you might find
city across the world.
the love of your
Please
life
stop.
there.
I'll bring that up.
Yo,
Okay, so what did they steal from you? Like,
I didn't see nothing from me because
oh, it's just your
Just my dad, yeah.
Okay.
Lupin can't steal from me.
I think that's one of my biggest like
I think they stole like one of.
fears. Is
They stole some important document. We have to go to the embassy.
okay.
My biggest fear is losing my passport.
Well, you mentioned being pickpocketed. I always travel with my wallet in my front pocket and my hand in that pocket as much as possible. Or if I like to wear jackets, so the jacket on the inside pocket, like under my arm.
What about like having like fake wallets where you just have
Yeah,
like
a
inside write
dummy-
notes and
a
be like, nice try.
No, a dummy wallet is a good
Adieu.
one. No, you take you have a dummy wallet, put it in your back pocket, have a couple of dollars in it, just a couple of loose bills, like a couple, literally just a couple dollars, some fake identification.
I'll be
I-
in France.
I
and just have
practice
some
this
yen
here
in
in
it.
Miami. Like if you're like, oh, if like families in and they're like, oh, let's go to Bayside. Oh, Pocket's going in the front. Oh, you guys want to go to Little Haiti? Pocket's going under the jacket.
The only
Like,
cash I have in my
the
wallet.
best restaurants are in the worst places.
The only
It
that
is true. It is true.
The only cash I have in my wallet are like British pounds.
You guys want to go to Wynwood? They'll probably break our windows there.
Sure.
It is true. I remember when we went to Vatican City, we were making like the line.
So beautiful.
And the line, by the way, in summer, don't go to Rome in summer.
And
It's
get your
like
tickets
the-
ahead of time. We did,
yes.
thankfully, but you
Thanks
do
to
not
who?
wanna
Thanks
make-
to who?
The internet.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Oh, so Al Gore then.
No, it was me. It was me.
And a team of scientists.
I got
yes,
the
Link,
tickets
Al Gore
ahead
had
of
the
time, and when we got there, I think they said something that there were like almost like 3 million people.
What?
Yes,
Wait,
it's
wait,
crazy.
like what do you mean?
Yeah.
In the Vatican, everybody was headed that way. It was
3
Million.
million.
That morning,
people?
3 million
Million
people were
people.
going to descend on the Vatican.
And
not,
the
not in
Vatican.
an attack. or
Not
anything.
all at the
It
same
sounded like
time.
it sounded like an
Not all
attack.
at the same
Had
time,
the
but
Pope died?
3 million people were gonna. That's Rome in the summer. It's crazy.
3 million?
Yes,
That went
and
to
they were
summer, it wasn't
expecting.
that
No,
crazy.
it was that crazy. That line for the Vatican went around the
Yeah,
whole
it was
entire
insane.
place. It
They
was
were
insane.
telling them that they were going to be in line
I'm not
all day.
exaggerating. It was
Bro,
crazy.
A week, 3 million people? There's no way you can get that many
No,
people.
no, people literally cried
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they can't get in.
No, because
at
it's
that
literally
day.
like just shoveling them
Yeah.
in, and you don't stop moving as you
Nope.
move through it, and there's no room to breathe. in it.
So, thanks.
You're like shoulder to shoulder in the Sistine Chapel. Everyone is
Yes.
talking, and the guards are like, "Silencio, silencio."
Oh, so it's like Wynwood.
But we were making the line to get in because we got tickets, so we didn't have to make the line. And this guy, I had a little purse. I always travel very light, so I had this little purse, and he had practically nothing. I think it was just my passport and my credit card, and that's it. And that guy was coming at me like he was gonna grab my purse. But I took my purse and I hugged George right next to me. And then the guy he got this close to me and then he went
And
that
then
way.
he just slapped your booty and kept going.
Bold move, Cotton.
That was his cover.
He did not do
that was
that.
his cover.
No.
I just came for a
No.
little
I'm not a I'm not a thief. I'm a pervert.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that on.
Hey, clip
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
clip
clip
that.
that. We
So if
recorded
you
it.
ever go to Rome and you want to visit the Vatican during summer, get your tickets ahead of time. If you go to the Colosseum, get your tickets
You think
ahead of
that stuff- I
time.
guess it's changed?
Do
With,
all
like COVID and stuff?
what the prices?
Like the regulations?
No. I just was watching this video because I do want to go back to Italy.
People were just descending upon
I-
and rolling over each other.
And they say that this summer is crazy because I guess people are back traveling again. And again, like it's super packed. Like it's crazy right now. So, but Italy is a must. Italy is a beautiful country.
Yeah, I feel like-
Florence is.
I feel like a lot of the worst experiences usually for most people I hear is like horror stories is like at airports.
Yeah.
I strangely kind of like enjoy airports in some aspects.
Oh, I like
Mhm.
air,
Okay,
international
'cause-
airports.
and that's true. But everyone loves to travel to places, but no one actually likes to travel, the actual travel part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you're right, there are some upsides.
Oh no, I love airplanes.
There's just like
I do love
long-
airplanes. I
long
don't love
airplane
airports.
ride.
I like
No,
airports.
there's just
Long
I was gonna
airplane.
say
Once-
I love airplanes. I don't like airports.
I love.
once you get like, oh sorry, go ahead.
No. I just love watching like 5 movies in a row, being
Mhm.
fed miniature food. It's the best.
I have a checklist. If
Miniature food.
Miniature.
What does
I
they
like
serve
pictures
you?
like those little like hot dog candies that I used to eat when I was a kid and just like eating it on a plane.
I have
But
a
by the way, the service is not what it used to be. They don't
Yeah.
really fit us that much anymore.
You have an 18-hour flight? Nah, 19 hours is the limit for food. So I'm
Dang.
sorry.
Yeah, for real.
And prices just went up. And
we're leaving you on the tarmac for 4 hours. Do you want headphones?
Hey,
No,
we're just
no,
gonna
I want a
slide down.
snack.
We're gonna slide down this float real quick. That's how you're gonna get off the plane.
We're just gonna put the stairs down here in the middle of the tarmac, and then you're gonna have to walk
Yeah.
a mile and a half to the airport.
Unless you're flying
That
with Tom
happened.
Cruise,
Yeah.
like
No,
in
but-
Top Gun Maverick.
Okay, yes, we
oh,
get it. You
I
love
think
the
you're gonna say
movie.
Mission Impossible.
Well, that's coming out soon.
Probably before Top Gun's gonna be on
I
Paramount Plus.
remember one time in the
it
airport
might be out by the time this episode.
that we had a layover in Lisbon, Portugal,
Mm-hmm.
and George just fell asleep in the middle of like
Like standing?
Oh, okay. I wish he just took the luggage and he just
Part
made a
of-
little bed in a corner and he
Okay.
just fell asleep for like.
I slept standing in a chair on the floor, straight over luggage. But I had a condition in my defense at that time. I
I don't know
I
what
used to
condition.
suffer-
You had a
I was
condition?
so mad. I'm like, great.
I suffered from narcolepsy caused by
Not
onset
sleeping.
insomnia. Yeah. No.
I
Yeah.
guess.
It's not a troll.
Whatever.
Can't tell if you're being serious or not.
I'm being serious.
It's the first
I'm-
time I hear of this.
What? You didn't know that I never slept, so then I would just pass out in random places?
No.
I didn't know that either. Therapy.
That was like, okay,
You need
thank
therapy.
All right.
Well, he isn't there. What are you
That's
talking
right. We
about?
are therapy.
Also,
Yeah.
I need therapy because that I once suffered from that, and I'm okay now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all need therapy,
That's true.
We all do.
That's why we're here.
and that's why we're here.
No, but I think the parts that I like, I don't know, when I was younger, being in airports, once you get past the insaneness that is security
Yeah.
and all that stuff,
Mhm.
Public service.
kind of just like waiting at the gate. Like sometimes, like I remember just have some memories of like the sun setting, the airports flying in,
Right.
the people watching and going like from place to place. I feel like now as you get older, obviously it's busier, but as a little kid, I was just like, it was all like new to me, like just a bunch of random people
Right.
just walking around, and I don't know why. Like maybe it might have been like a movie or something that like probably went more in depth on that, which is why maybe that thought process came to mind. But
Love Actually.
maybe.
Also,
Love Actually
also,
sent me in,
I
like, a
think
crisis.
I think post 9/11 really changed the travel experience for a lot of people.
I bet. I heard people could just walk up
Oh yeah.
like
yeah.
to the
Yeah.
gate and say bye and then leave.
yeah. I
And I-
leave.
Yeah,
and-
cocaine and everything.
And
Okay.
okay. And I remember, and like, we could say that we've become a more informal society as the years have progressed, but I actually think travel became informal because of security.
Yeah,
because
such a hassle.
You used to always dress up nice to travel
Mhm.
at the airport. And after September 11, it became such a hassle to go through security that everybody's just like, bro, I'm not even going to wear a belt. Like, it's just like, I'm going
just
to wear
gonna wear
the
my
most
pajamas.
comfortable clothes because half of them are coming off anyways, and I think
Yeah.
that's where like, it was like, you probably go dress the worst to travel because you're going to be in a, I don't know, little tiny chair, uncomfortable. But like I mentioned, I come prepared with a checklist for long flights. So if you give me like 8 to 12 hours, if I'm traveling all the way like to another continent, I got certain metrics like for I'm listening to this album, watch this movie, read X amount of chapters in this book. Like
Also, George travels with like a book bag where he has like a laptop, like 2 switches.
Oh, you have
and
to. You have to have your
Kindle.
tech bag with you.
Yeah, it's not that fun when you're trying to go through security.
they all say that. They all say that because I always get flagged, okay? But I'm the person who is carrying everybody else's tech. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 iPads, a laptop, 2 Nintendo Switches, and then they're like, oh, you always get stopped. Oh, it always takes long. Yeah, but then who's using those devices? Like I have 2. You think I have 2 Kindles for me? I
You're
need one.
the
e-reader.
tech mule.
Yeah, I am the tech mule.
I appreciate
Thank you.
that, baby.
Thank you. I appreciate that you appreciate me.
Mhm.
Any other worse experiences, or we're done griping about the downside of traveling?
I think the only downside of traveling is just like sometimes when you're in need of a vacation, traveling can kind of become a
Oh,
little bit of
yeah.
a burden. Like you're tired and like you got to get
Yeah.
up early to go see this
Yeah.
thing and walk around and move all this stuff. When it's like, man, I am exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
and that's probably like the main thing I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like one like the times that like I really feel like I'm on vacation, like where I'm doing nothing, is like on cruises.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cruises I'm doing nothing.
Yeah.
But either
It's a
like if
good
I
way.
want to go, if I want to get up at certain time, like especially those days at sea, if I want to get up, I'm not missing anything.
Right. It's a good
I-
way to disconnect.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
can go to the pool, I can go play like sports, I can go work out, see what else is around the boat, and then once I get to those ports, I can go off.
Yeah. And
for the
I think
city.
there's different kind of travels. Like when you travel to like a specific, like for example, like when you go to places like Paris or London or like these big cities, it's gonna be hectic.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
there's so much to do. They're cities, But for example, just recently, me and George went to Hawaii and Alaska, and because the states are so rich in nature, and even though you're tired of the hike and you're tired of the walking, physical exhaustion is not the same as mental. Like we were so stress free right?
Yeah.
Like, because I
You're
mean,
literally in paradise. So,
you
yeah.
are, you know, and it's being in nature like that was so energizing, and you know, it was great. So it's different kind of travels.
You know, you mentioned needing a vacation from your vacation. That's one of the great things about being teachers that we can take. Like me and Gisela, we'll travel 20 plus days, and then we'll still have a whole month to recover from that. And like, I don't know what the
Yeah.
next chapter of my life is, but I don't know how I'm going to simulate that. Like, I don't know how I'm going to match that because that's like literally the best part of it. And then the trip that she just mentioned, Hawaii and Alaska, like we were in Hawaii 8 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was toast already, and we still had to go to Alaska. But luckily, like you said, on the cruise, we had 5 at sea days while we traveled to Alaska. And I took those days to rest and eat, exercise on the ship, but everything at my own time, sleep like crazy. And like you said, there's nothing to miss, right? If I miss something on the boat, we didn't even go to like most of the shows because it was just like, I'm just preparing for the next part of this trip. And it was beautiful because I got to have like a second vacation because I got to take a break from all the hectic,
Mm-hmm.
like running up and down the Hawaiian Islands.
Yeah. Just like Ezra Miller.
We were running from Ezra Miller. Yes, I think this has been
That's where the
chronicled on
exhaustion
the show.
came from, yeah.
It was that. You know, it was like
That was a joke of the trip.
it
We
wasn't
would
a
go
joke.
to places and we would look
It was
around to
not
see
a
if
joke.
Ezra Miller was
Yeah,
around.
I was genuinely looking over my shoulder. Okay, in case he showed up. You also mentioned cruises. You brought something up, Gabe. It was called. I think you referred to it as simulated travel.
You did, but I enjoy the way that you put it. So
Oh,
I
okay.
like the way that you did.
You
I
should
like the
put
way
like
you said it.
VR set and then
Well, that is a different topic, but that's actually kind of interesting too. But I think what Gabe was referring to is kind of like these theme parks and these cruises that are trying to give you the experience of travel without you having to actually travel too much. I don't know if you want to unpack that a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's more of like, I guess one of the big ones is like the Star Wars, what is it, Batu, in Hollywood Studios and
Yeah.
Disney,
Mm-hmm.
where they try to immerse you into this fictional planet in the world of Star Wars, and Avengers Campus in
Hogwarts.
Anaheim.
I thought you were saying
Hogwarts-
Avengers Campus was in Hogwarts.
Hogwarts and Universal, the Disney cruises with the Star Wars and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the other one trying to get me to spend like $1,500 on a weekend just because you guys have like a Star Wars
Yeah.
day.
Like aside from the money, I do think that stuff is like cool, and I can't
Mm.
imagine
No,
it.
it
like,
absolutely
I
is.
can't imagine even like as an adult. I think that's cool. I can't even imagine what it's like for like, the younger kids,
Right.
like to be
Right.
able to experience that if they're able to go to that. That's that's amazing. Like you're seeing
Yeah.
this stuff in real life. Obviously, like you see it in film and stuff like that, but you see from what I saw, like they have like a Spider-Man, like an animatronic Spider-Man swinging through Avengers Campus in Anaheim, and I'm like, that's sick. Like that is
Yeah.
so cool to me. I mean, aside from like ridiculous prices, like if I was able to do it, I would
Oh,
like to
yeah.
like experience that to see what it's like. Because I just think that concept is so interesting of like bringing that stuff, like bringing the things that we see in these TV shows, these movies, to real life. Because on one side, it's like, are they ever gonna meet the expectations of whatever we thought that was actually gonna be?
Hmm.
Like I don't know if we mentioned it on, I don't know when maybe we talked about it on the episode or off of it. Like Blue Milk. Blue Milk was that like expectation where I was like, I thought it was gonna be like that cereal, like like that milk that you
Yeah,
that you
are
drink
their
after cereal.
is it their vision gonna match with our vision?
Exactly, like what you pictured all those years growing up and like seeing in real life, and it's like, oh, this isn't what I envisioned, or like, oh, this is even cooler than what I had previously thought before.
What
Did
was
you-
it? What was the blue milk?
What
What was the blue milk?
in Hollywood Studios?
Yeah, what was
No,
it?
but what did it taste like?
Yeah.
Bubblegum.
Oh.
It was like
That's a
s-
letdown.
It
You're
was
telling
like
me
And it's not even
Was
even
it
milk,
really
right? It's
sweet?
not
no,
milk-based,
it was
right?
sweet, but it was like not not slushy, like ice slushy. It was a weird like it was liquidy, but like there was a hint of like it wasn't completely liquid, like
and
fluid.
it was bubblegum flavored?
One of them was bubblegum flavored. The other one was I can't even tell you what. It tasted good, but like I said, I just pictured
Would
like
not expect that from the tit of that animal.
we could say that apparently.
Yeah, you have had that
Nipples
word
and Naples in the 80s.
pre-approved. Yes.
But yeah, what were we gonna say, Gisela?
That should be the name of the episode.
When you guys went to Batu the first time, were you guys in awe? Like, do you guys really felt like you were immersed?
Dude, when I saw the Falcon, I was just like, what the heck?
And I had prepared myself for it too.
Yeah,
but
not,
did you guys felt like, oh, I'm in Star Wars? Like,
when I saw the Falcon, yes. But aside from that, I was just like,
That's
oh, it's a
the-
theme
the
park.
piece de resistance.
okay, because for example, like the first time I went to Universal Studios and I went
In
to
Orlando,
no,
Florida?
no, in Islands of Adventures in Orlando, Florida, and we went to the
Universal
Harry
Studios Orlando
Potter
Resort.
world. I felt immersed. That was like, oh, like. By the way, I hadn't seen Harry Potter
No.
at that time, but I didn't need to. Like, I really felt like I was in another world.
Because that,
They did such a good job.
That's how I felt the first time I went to Italy in Epcot.
Oh yes, yes. That's why I love Epcot. By the way.
Okay, that was kind of a joke, but it's true.
No,
Like,
it is
it's also with the
true.
real world, like going around the
Yeah,
world. And
yeah.
Epcot, you're like, I kind of want to go to all these places.
but I think like, were you talking about like Diagon Alley, like when you turn that corner in?
no,
Like, there's a
no,
dragon?
it was Hogwarts.
Because that part blew my
Howard.
mind.
I'm sorry,
Howard.
Hogsmeade. When you
yeah.
see the snowy rooftops.
Yes.
Because that opened before Diagon Alley.
Yes, that was the first time.
But then yes, once they opened Diagon Alley, that going
Because
the
Diagon
dragon,
Alley
yeah.
for me, because to get to Diagon Alley, you're basically just walking a normal park, and then there's like a little like corner that you can cut in
Right.
to go in.
Yeah.
And I just didn't expect it when I went.
Yeah,
Yeah, just like
it's
turn the
completely
corner. Oh, like,
Just
where
fit all that.
looking for the bathroom. Where am I going? I'm just gonna go through here, and it's like it's Diagon Alley. There's a dragon.
Yeah.
I
like,
thought
on
I
a
was
rooftop.
already in Harry Potter World. I thought it was
Exactly.
just the London set.
I was freaking out. I was like,
Yeah.
what the heck? And I think they did a really good job. But I feel like the difference with immersion, I mean, I'm not too familiar with Hogsmeade, but for Diagon Alley, I guess it's a bit more familiar architecture
Yeah.
Mm.
with like it being like houses and places of business, stuff
It's
like
like
that.
realistic.
Yeah, it's realistic. But I think what's a little bit off-putting about Star Wars, it's like it's space.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a different planet.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know what that's like.
Man, but I think also like I think sometimes when they do Star Wars at the parks, it's like too space
Yeah.
because I kind of expect like Tunisia. Like, why doesn't it look like the Skywalker homestead? You know, just look like someplace in the middle of the desert. And I don't know. It's hard because I think
I don't know. Like
sometimes it's too clean
it,
and it's not busy enough. It's never busy enough. That's the problem.
I
There
don't
aren't
know
aliens
because
around.
I expected
That's
Batu
the
to be more
off-putting
like
part for me.
desert like. Just me.
Yeah, like you're on
Yeah,
Tatooine
yeah.
or something.
Right,
Like
like
that.
you're into, and but it's not because it has a lot of
Coke and Sprite.
and plants,
I thought you meant
a lot of plants.
Cooking.
You know, I mean, we're in Florida, so there's all these tropical plants everywhere. So that kind of like, I don't know.
And that's the thing. I think we were talking about the whole resort, the whole Star Wars resort hotel thing, and how ridiculously expensive it was. When
Yeah.
we were just like, bro, we can put that money, actually go to Tunisia to see where they actually filmed,
Right.
like A New Hope, like
yeah.
Tatooine.
We,
and,
you
like,
could actually
stay
stay
there.
in like basically the
we basically
Skywalker homestead.
We basically
like,
mapped out the whole trip. Like
Yeah.
we did the flight, how much
Yeah.
it would be to get to the
and you could,
hotel.
like, sleep in the cave, like, and it sounds awesome.
And
'Cause
I was
that's
like,
like a
man.
once in a lifetime
why,
experience.
Why is Disney doing this to us?
Well,
You know,
because-
let's not talk about it right
Yeah,
now.
no,
Yeah, this is
well,
another
Disney
topic.
gonna
I think the other problem
Yes.
is that I
Huh?
think
What is it?
he's don't worry. He's a capitalist.
Capital de los Jugos.
Oh, got it.
That's capitalism right there. Capital del Jugo. You've
Yeah.
become that which you hate. But I think also sometimes people think, you know, I can't afford or I don't have the time to like go to another country,
Yeah.
go to another continent.
Yeah.
But then they'll spend money on these, you know, on these lavish trips, like,
Bro.
and it's not that they're wrong for. They just don't know. Like, honestly, there's a way to do it
Oh yeah.
that is like cheaper than like you can fly to some countries and spend there a
Bro, that
week. And
joint's
it's,
like
You just have to
$4,000.
be willing to like
You have
you
to
know
be flexible.
you
That's
have
like
to be
$4
willing to be
grand?
flexible. And like, for example, when me and George travel, and we have traveled a lot, and we feel very blessed, not because we have a lot of money. We're both teachers, so you guys could imagine our salary, but it's because we travel light and we travel, you know, cheap.
And it's like
You
it's
know,
something
we
that's
don't-
important
get
to you
good
guys.
deals on the good stuff and
Right.
slum it sometimes.
But that's
Right.
the thing, like it's something that's important to you guys, so you find a way to make
Right,
it happen.
exactly.
Like, I think for anything in life, I think if you really want something, you
Right.
can go get it. You will make effort. You have time. Obviously, there'll be circumstances where you
Right.
can't, like that can't, it won't be provided for you. But for a lot of things that we really don't think that we can afford or we get done.
Right.
If you really want something bad enough, you'll find a way to get it done.
That's absolutely true. But yeah, there is a way to do it, and we are fortunate enough to live in, in America, in the United States, where a lot of those things are accessible to us, because that's a reality.
Yeah.
Traveling for us is a lot cheaper than to many other people in other parts of the world. So we have the opportunity to have a lot of access to, different price points and capitalism, many different airlines and cruises and hotel chains that allow us to have, find competitive prices everywhere. So that's pretty cool.
So what are some places you would like to go to?
Italy.
That's number one on your list.
I mean,
Yes, you
hearing all
should.
of you guys
Yes.
talk about it, but I mean, aside from Italy, Italy is my main one. But I'd really like to go to
Let's go to Lake Como.
when?
Yeah.
Now,
December.
quit my job. No. Do we have to? Can we go in December?
No.
No. Okay.
All right. What do I got next?
Survey says no.
No.
Nah.
What's the timeline? What's the timeline for us to go to Lake Como?
I don't know. We'll have to sit
feel
down
like
and plan.
Within a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
In a year.
Hey, you heard it. Hold her word. I'm
Mhm.
holding you to that.
I will be gone next season.
Maybe the Swiss Alps.
Oh, yes.
I'm sharing rides
Yeah.
through there. That's places where I want to go. Australia's another one I got to.
Yeah.
I want to go everywhere. So
Mm-hmm.
think.
Where do I want to go? New Zealand?
Damn.
You think you know me, huh?
That is gonna say Japan.
Okay, Edge.
Yeah, I
You
would like
think
to
you
go
know
to New
me?
Zealand, specifically to
Oh, this.
Hobbiton.
They let you out. Would they let you in?
I don't know, but I want to be there.
I think, yeah.
What do you
I
mean?
think they
It's
can.
open.
It's open, yeah.
They have Lord of the
open.
Rings
They were
twice.
like,
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
like
they
super
have-
strict.
Listen, that's
They
what.
have-
That's
they have-
another thing. Like
Yeah.
a film tour, like of locations
Yes.
throughout the
Yeah.
world,
yeah,
bruh.
yeah.
You know what me and George did when we went to Liverpool? We did the Beatles.
Oh my
down-
goodness, it was illuminating.
Mm.
Yeah.
I will never appreciate the Beatles the way I do now after like walking through their paces. Like,
Yes, that was really cool. So I can imagine how amazing
It's like you're
it will
like
be for
going to
Lord of the
Jerusalem
Rings.
and like walking where Jesus was.
and it is okay. Listen, going on media pilgrimage. This is real stuff. We've talked about.
Right.
Like, listen, guys. These movies and TV shows and media that we consume, it isn't salvation. It isn't, but it is spiritual in a sense because like it's so important to us and it's been with us since such a early period and like I'm about to hit 40 years, so that's 4 decades of this stuff.
Just
And-
George, though, not me.
Yeah, just me. Yeah, my much younger wife
That's
is
right.
behind me.
Like at least 15 years.
Yeah, at least,
Yeah.
but undetermined. But there is something spiritual with these pilgrimages. Like we went to Hawaii and the Hawaii portion of it. We went to where they filmed Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, and it was like, okay, all of a sudden I woke up like this is wow, like look at it. This is where they filmed Lost. This is
That's
where
when
they
you woke
filmed-
up?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
because you're in Hawaii?
No, because for me, it's a fifth gear. You know what I mean? I love the culture and I love the people and I love the travel and I love the knowledge and the education. But like, it hits hard when you're like walking down the same street that The Godfather. When you go to New York and you visit all the
I
locations
think it was The Godfather.
for Ghostbusters, Teenage Mutant Ninja
Right.
Turtles.
I mean,
like,
it's like when you meet someone and it's like, yeah, they could be a nice person, they're agreeable, they're pleasant, but when they start talking about like something that you are like you're really passionate about, you find that commonality and it turns to something else.
Right.
Like I turn into a different person when I have my nice guy voice, like I'm like being like pleasant, I'm being a friend, like, and you know what it sounds like.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Excuse me.
once they start talking about like, oh,
My
like
least favorite voice from Gabe.
I've been
Is your
watching
least favorite voice from your dad?
What?
from
The
me
polite voice. Oh.
when I'm watching, like when he talks about like watching a movie that I just saw, and
Yeah.
like when we get to when I get to discuss that with someone that I didn't know anything about, and you find that commonality, it opens a new door, like into
Yeah.
I mean, a possible friendship or even just a great conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it brings magic into the real world and it brings reality into fantasy because like when you go to New York and you go to like the Daily Planet or you go to the Daily Bugle, you're like that thing that happened in the Spider-Man trilogy or in the original Superman film, like that location, there it is. It exists and it works. It's an actual newspaper place. It does the thing it did in the movie. And now every time I go back and watch Richard Donner's Superman, I'm like, I was there. I was in Metropolis. I was in the Bugle. So like the movie becomes more real and my real world becomes just that much more exciting because it breaks down those barriers between that suspension of disbelief and that fantasy.
Right.
Fictional place you would like to go. We talked about.
Fictional place?
Yeah. If there was a place in media that was real, we talked about being transported to Batu.
But Link didn't answer the question. Where does he wants to go?
Oh, yeah, he did. He
so
said New Zealand.
And then, yeah.
Oh, I didn't answer that question.
Oh, okay, I'll get to you. That's how we transitioned to that whole fantasy thing.
Yeah.
Because how amazing, like if you love the Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh my goodness,
to
that's
go
something I wanna
do
Yeah.
go do that.
Well,
Hobbit
the way
tour.
how you guys feel about like, the media and movie making, I feel about history.
Yeah.
So when I'm in a place and I'm in Florence and
Yeah, Assassin's Creed.
no, and they tell me, oh, this is
He
the
was behind
street
everything
where
that happened.
Leonardo da Vinci walked.
That guy from Assassin's Creed.
so-
This
Leonardo da
is
Vinci.
where Leonardo da Vinci created that tool.
So for me, that's
for
like,
Ezio
I come
Auditore.
alive. Like, this is amazing, or this is like in Paris, this is where Napoleon Bonaparte, walked through when he came back. It's like, wow, that's pretty awesome. Or like when you are like, in different
The Globe
parts.
Theater, Shakespeare, because it's literature too for me.
Right.
That's-
Like that's how I feel about history for me. That's why one of the reasons that I enjoy traveling so much. And where would I like to go? Honestly, I want to go everywhere. In the United States, I want to go to Boston, even though Link doesn't want to come with me. But I want to go to Boston. It was the birth of the revolution here. So I can't believe as an American history teacher, I haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
So I want to go to Boston here
Some
in
of us
America.
believe it was New York, but okay.
Okay.
That's where we kept all the money.
Right.
That's where the
What's more American than that?
Because we'll have the banks.
Right. Hey, don't take that
And we're
away
in the
from the
same spot.
Bostonians. I mean,
We'll take anything we can from the Bostonians.
That's right.
They can keep Ben Affleck. We love you, Ben. I hope you're having a happy marriage. Is he back
And I definitely, in the future, I would like to go to the Middle East, and I would like to go to Egypt, and I would like to go to Israel, and would like to visit that part of the world. And I also like to go more into East Asia as well. I would love to visit Japan one day.
Yeah, nobody said it. That was mine, Japan.
And all those part of the world that have not been there yet.
Yeah, I think it's actually really interesting.
Also Africa as well. I
Oh,
want to
yeah,
go everywhere.
Africa for sure.
Yeah.
I think one of the really interesting points that you were saying, like
Just
it's-
the whole world.
It's history for you.
Right.
It's literature for you. I mean, aside from like media, I think which we all
Yeah.
share, but I think for me, it's like sport.
The sports history.
Right.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
like to
Right.
play soccer, football, wherever part of the world you're from. It's something special that it's like that I'm gravitated towards. Like going to a soccer stadium, going to
Right.
watch a game, to watch a rugby match or whatever's like big there.
Yeah.
In Greece, I played when I went to Santorini. I played soccer with a group of children, like in a rundown like rinky dink court,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like those memories, like those
And
things stay with
right,
you.
and it's just so cool that you're like in the other side of the world, and you could find this one thing that you have in common with
Yeah, it's
this
the commonalities.
people,
It's
right?
the things that like you.
And you may
share.
not even speak the language. I may not even understand each other, but you guys found that common ground.
speak that.
Right? Exactly, and that's pretty awesome.
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what traveling is.
That's why I love it. It's like
Yeah.
you get to see the commonalities and the things that you share, and I feel like
Right.
everything is like
And the
you really see how
interconnected.
everything
Yeah.
is connected.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Because it's like we can go on the same trip and enjoy all of that stuff. Like I understand Garcia Marquez's work because I've been able to go back to my homeland of Colombia. Now I get what he's writing about, and the same thing goes when you see in the context of all the literature that I study. But while I'm there, I can enjoy the game. When you want, that's
Yeah.
what you want to do. All right, we're doing that. We're going to the the hometown game, and I'm gonna learn more about the history. And I don't know what that is for you, Link. What is that driving force behind your travel? What are you looking to learn?
The comedy club in New York.
Oh, that is funny that we do have to pull into those comedy places for for Link as well. But I don't know. Is it?
Yeah,
think?
I'm
Do
not
you
sure.
think? You think it's a?
You think it's the food? Is that the motivating thing?
Could be.
You think a big one would be for like if when we go to Japan to see all the stuff that we like?
Yeah. Why do
obviously
you
the
want to go to
food
Japan, for
and
example?
Yes, everything.
Everywhere.
all at once?
Yeah, like Japan.
You like
Everything.
Japan? Why?
Like the culture there. I'm sorry, I'm just drained.
It was. We had work today, so
Yeah.
it's a long day.
What is that?
But you know what? The thing about traveling is to also like experience that at the end of at the core of humanity, we're not all that different.
Mhm, absolutely.
You know, the way how we live and love, and the way how we do life and family, and we. What I have learned is that at the end, you know, we have so much more in common that we have, you know, that we are different. So that's pretty cool. That no matter where you are in the world, you're gonna find something in common with them. Yeah.
It almost doesn't matter where you go, or who you meet, or even what you do there. Obviously, the details of your travel are going to shape your experience. But just the fact that you take those steps to go outside of your comfort zone and travel to a new place in the world, many times it's like traveling to a new world. We are so different all around us. The cultures, the people, the traditions, and the practices. Sometimes we feel alien in an environment that we know nothing of. But if you dig deeper, past the surface, oftentimes you'll find that we have much more in common than we have differences. That what unites us is so much deeper than what separates us. And as we keep searching for that motivating factor, that thing that propels us forward from one place to the next, know that you'll always find your way back home. And we hope that we make that home here with us every week. Till next time, keep searching.
Good job.
Oh. If you want to know a little bit more, stay with us for our Patreon exclusive content.